What's going on, man? This is Mikhail, the Memory Maker, and I'm here with TCP Podcasting, one of the up and coming podcasting shows. If you're not watching them, man, you're losing and missing out every day. Get with them or get left behind.
What is happening, friends of CCP Podcasting? Welcome to a special live taping of Beyond the Bell. I am Chris Page. I hope you are having a fantastic day that ends with a Y, wherever you're watching us from, whether it's live on Twitch, whether it's on replay over on YouTube. Hope you're having a great day. This is going to be a fantastic show. First of all, let me go some shout outs from the chat. I see you, UK Paul. Hope you're doing well today. Mr. Rain, I see you, brother. I hope you're doing fine as well. Guys, we got a great show. These Beyond the Bells just keep giving more and more and more to our platform here, and I couldn't be happier, especially with our guest today. He's got 15 years deep at this point, guys, and it comes to us out of reality of wrestling, and dare I say, things might get a little savage here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Beyond the Bell Live my guest today, the Savage King himself. How are you doing, sir?
Well, I'm well. How are you?
I'm living the dream as best I can with what I got. It's about what I tell people all the time. What's going on with you, man? How's things going down there?
Going fantastic. I mean, right now we're growing exponentially at Reality of Wrestling. Plus, I'm traveling. I'm working with NWA DPCW out of San Antonio, Rodney Mack and them. It's going great.
I cannot wait to dive into this conversation with you. I have seen your stuff. I really dig what you got going on, and really am enamored with the Savage King and the sheer physicality that you bring to the ring every time you step through those ropes. What I like to do when we have these conversations is I kind of like to start at the top. And for the Savage King, like, I need to know, how does this guy come into professional wrestling? Because your brother's jacked. Let me just tell you, you look like you can do just about anything. Where does wrestling come into you?
Okay, I was born in Greece. I was born in Greece, and we moved to the States probably when I was about 12, 12, round up in there, and we got here. So that's partially where the Savage King comes from. But dealing with my lineage and my history, my dad wrestled maybe, I mean, years before I was born. Years before I was born. He probably could have been my grandfather. He's that much older. He got him a young one. So, that's where he was savage.
Right.
So that's where the Savage King comes from. And I studied different forms of martial arts. So I grew up fighting. I grew up learning how to fight. And I grew up with a love and a passion for wrestling. I never really thought that I would be in it, but I had such a love for it, such a passion for it. I love the entertainment. This is a sport. This is a place where you can be a real live superhero or supervillain, depending on what you want to be. This is the place where people come and forget their problems. They let they are able to let go. They're able to scream and let go of the frustration that they've been dealing with day by day, and or they're able to come and live vicariously through the hero, through the villain, and it don't impact their normal lives. So in a way to where they may get in trouble, with the cops. So I've always had a passion for it. Like when I was younger, I would, I may be frustrated, I may be stressed, but when I turned on the TV and I seen different wrestlers like Booker T, like The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, and they were out here. Kurt Angle, all these people doing wrestling. When I watched it, I forgot about everything else. If I was frustrated, if I was stressed, if I was angry, if I was pissed, all of it went in with them. And when it was over, I felt that relief. So it was my escape place, my happy zone.
Well, you said some
And
things.
that
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, and I think that's one of the main things that led me to wrestling.
You say some things right there that I mean resonates with me. Is like this is your escape. It's my escape. Sitting down and watching indies and covering people from all over the world. This is I have a real job just like everybody else does, and this is how I still get into the escape portion, and I'm able to enjoy stuff. I really think that it's a piece of the business that is really gratifying because you can invest in the hero. You can invest in the villain. You can live vicariously through these characters and through what's going on in the ring. It is the biggest passion of mine, really, because it's this is the future right now, and independent wrestling's on fire fucking everywhere, and you have been able to sit back and see this growth like from a different perspective. So and I was gonna ask you like what are some of your influences, but you just rattled those off. Like you got Angle, you have The Rock, you've got all your Attitude Era esque is kind of like where it's at with you, unless you go back deeper than that. Were you like a territory guy too?
I've done my history, and yes, I loved watching old film, old tape from the territories, which was, dude, oh my god. Uh, Let me just throw in Mr. Perfect uh, in there right there, because that
Okay.
guy, Mr. Perfect, Ravishing Rick Rude,
Yes.
those guys, Macho Man Randy Savage, those guys also. Going further back, oh my gosh, Jose Lothario, Wahoo McDaniel,
Yes.
Junkyard Dog, Big Cat Ernie Ladd. Dude,
This dude's a man after my own heart right here. You say Wahoo McDaniel, brother. I used to say Flair through the best chop, and then I sat down and watched a shitload of Wahoo, and I was like, I'm wrong. Wahoo has the best
Wahoo
fucking chop
McDaniel.
in professional wrestling. It's not
Yes.
Gunther now, but back in the day, no comparison, none.
Not. I throw a good chop
You
myself.
do.
Um, it's believe it or not, it's actually one of my moves. It's called. Um, they'll say that I hit them with the hawk
Mm-hmm.
because they call it HOG, hand of God.
Facts, and it drops people to their knees. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's it's
I
great.
hit them with the hawk, with the hand of God.
And listen, if they're non-believers, they will be as soon as the hog hits them. Man, let me tell you that. It's coming out of left field. I think it's great that you've got a lot of the old school cats, man. Because I'm a diehard '80s guy. Like I that was my genre of professional wrestling. Still is. Don't get me wrong. I love the Attitude Era. I thought it was great. Uh, but that's where it was at with me. It's like because it was so simple. It was so simple back then. You didn't have to do a lot. You didn't have to go out there and no. This is no disrespect to anybody who has a wilder style. You didn't have to go out there and literally. I mean, you risk your body every time you step in the ropes, but you didn't have to go out there and do 9,000 things to get a reaction. A fucking headlock would
The,
bring some people to
the
their feet.
wildest thing I saw was one of my favorites, also Mil Mascaras.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's
Shout out to
somebody.
Rey Mysterio, one of the greatest.
Nobody has ever brought up Mil Mascaras since we've been doing the show. We've been doing it for about a year
I
now.
love Mil Mascaras.
I'm telling you, the guy's fucking phenomenal. Real quick, UK Paul, so from the UK, giving you a shout out in chat, welcoming you to the show, welcoming you to CCP podcasting. Ecstatic to sit down and dig a little deeper here. So when you decide that it's time for the Savage King to start kicking ass and taking names, what's that look like for you? How does that roll, and how do you decide that you're going to get into professional wrestling?
Okay, so this leaves wrestling. Believe it or not, this leaves wrestling. I'm a man of faith,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going along. I was working. I was living my life. I was living actually a good life financially and just everywhere. But I felt that it was something more. It was something more out there, and it ate away at me for 2.5 years. Literally, I prayed for 2.5 years. I say, God, and for those who believe in a higher being, a creator, I prayed for 2.5 years. I say, what am I supposed to do? I say, I know it's more to life than this for me. And I was making at least $250,000 a year. I say, it's more. I was meant for more. And I say, what is it? What is it? And one day I woke up and I said, I'm going to be a professional wrestler. As soon as I said it, I sit back and I laughed and said, yeah, nah, that's not going to happen. I said, wrestling, that's not for me. It's it's something over there that I watched that I enjoyed, and it was good for the time being. But the way it was going right then, it was like, oh, this is that. That's not for me. And then it haunted me everywhere I walked, everywhere I went. I seen signs of professional wrestling, and everywhere I turned. And one day, I saw it on TV. They were holding Tough Enough.
Yep.
And I said, if you ever want to be a professional wrestler, you want to do this, you want to do that, here's your chance. I don't know what season it was in, but there was like, here's your chance. Join Tough Enough. And I filled out the paperwork. I did all that stuff because it was just on me. And I'm making a long story short. I didn't get the paperwork in time. But then I wind up driving down the street one day and I seen a school, a thing for professional wrestling. Never seen one for training or nothing. And I wind up calling it, and that's where it started.
So it sounds like this was like the signs were there.
Yeah.
Like it was once you made your mind and you said this is something I want to do. Like you may have missed a deadline here, but that doesn't mean that the dream doesn't end. And you went out and started conquering. When you decide that this is something again that you're gonna do, you're gonna go hit up the school. You go through the whole process. Like back in my day, it was fucking excuse my language. Sorry, I use colorful language from time to time. It was you know, you went for 2-3 months and you're just kind of thrown in the ring. Of course, this is '99. This is a whole different era of professional wrestling on the indie scene. What were some of the struggles that you had when you were getting into the ring to get this done? And some people didn't have them. I mean, you're a very athletic guy, and that didn't happen overnight. I would imagine to say that you've been in really good shape the majority of your life. So it wasn't you didn't have issues with the getting into shape, but did you have anything when you were in ring or while you were working on stuff? And if you did, how did you overcome them?
Okay. So when I first got into it, so when I first started in wrestling, of course, I heard all the stigma, all the 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 talk. Oh, it's fake. The ring is just a big trampoline, and all of this and all that. So when I went there and I seen the ring, and I took my first bump, I learned that the ring was steel and 2x6s,
Mm-hmm.
and just a little thin mat and a cover and a canvas. So when I took my first bump, I learned that yeah, this is not a mat. And learning how to fall and not knock yourself out was something different for me. Because like I said, I learned different disciplines of martial arts. So you're not taught to fall. You're taught to make people fall,
Facts.
but not to fall. And it's so it was different. I took to it very quickly, very easily. Within 3 months, I had my first match. Um, I was doing running, shooting stars, press. I was doing springboards. Just, I mean, it took to me easily. What did not take to me easily was the politics.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That is a
That
piece.
that's the issues that I had. Physically, in ring, all of that, I didn't have a problem. Learning that no, it's not. Learning that it's not fake. Learning that some matches are predetermined. Uh, Learning that it is a business. All that came pretty good. Um, but learning the politics was the headache for me. That was the problem that I still deal with today.
I'm not a fan of the political nature of professional wrestling, and it's one of those things like you got to take the good with the bad in some areas and in some regards, but it can definitely be a huge hindrance. That was a thing back in my time too. Of course, when I was in the ring, I had the opportunity to get in there with a lot of guys from the '80s in the South. I went through Alabama, Florida, Georgia, into Louisiana and Tennessee, kind of the south east corner, um, and it was big then too. I just didn't fuck with it. I don't have time for it. I didn't have time for it then. I don't have time for it now. I'm a firm believer that the cream is going to rise to the top. Talent you can't hide, and talent is something that you have. I've sat down. I have watched some of your matches. I've watched them on my private time. Again, getting prepared. That all comes with what we do here on the channel. I need to know, who am I talking to? What kind of style does he have? How and you have it. Like, there's something there. There's a lot there, to be perfectly fair. The physique is there. The way that the maneuvers that you pull off in the ring is there. Your ability to make whoever's in the ring with you, whether they're bigger or smaller. And me personally, I'm big advocate of. I saw you in the ring. I can't remember the guy's name. It was a 5 minute match. It was with Roe. No way this guy was going to take you down. It was definitely an enhancement match for you. He got about a minute and 20-ish seconds of offense throughout about the 5 minute match. But the offense that he gave, it was believable. It wasn't something that was out of sight, and you made the offense look really fucking good as a big dude. You know what I mean? Like, as a dominant force. And sometimes you don't see a lot of that. And when you do, like, I like to acknowledge it. So you do have that. So if they're, even with the politics out there now, it's you can't people can't hide the talent. It's there. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's where I'm trying to go.
No, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. The whole thing with me is, and this is going to sound like a stretch, okay, but second to the Bible, I think professional wrestling. If you take all of the stories, which is we can't number, is the greatest story ever told. Second to the Bible, because we tell so many stories, but yet and still the story is still the same.
Facts.
Good God, the good versus the evil, good versus bad. And you want the good to win, but sometimes evil wins. But it don't win. Sometimes evil wins the battle, but through perseverance, through hard work, through dedication, good always triumphs.
Facts. I mean, that's the nature of the beast. Let me shoot over to chat real quick. Mr. Rain says, "Wow, pleasure to meet you, Mr. Savage King. Huge shout out to Roe. He actually had a question for you.
Okay.
A piece of advice that you wish you had when you were starting out. And he asked that because he's a young cat. He's up north in Maine. It's like, for us young cats, could learn and understand as we grow. So, again, there was a lot to it. But any advice for the younger generation that's out there that's starting up now that you wish you could have had back then? That's a good question, Mr. A.
Okay. So To me, that's a tiered question. I'm gonna just say this.
Mhm.
One, and of course you know this, but always stay ready. So you
Facts.
never have to get ready.
Yes.
Second, show out. They will tell you when you go somewhere. Now, do all this with respect. Respect for the business, respect for your colleagues, respect for the vets. But where you go, be the brightest star that shines. You shine when you walk into the room. Don't walk in with your hands in front of you, down, covering, your safety area, your private. Don't walk in meek and mild. You bust the door in and you let them know that you're there to conquer, that you're the next big thing. But when you do it, make sure you're able to back up what you say.
1000%. I can agree with that wholeheartedly. I want to shoot over to chat real quick. Mike Boomer, what's happening, brother? Boomer, 20 plus year vet from Australia. Sadly, the most talented guys need to learn to navigate the politics. Otherwise, they won't go too far. I had Boomer on last week. We had a conversation similar to that. Off air. But it was it's very prevalent, but it is the navigation portion of it that you kind of have to figure out. It's sad but true. And then there are those that don't navigate it at all. And I mean, it's really one of those things. It's a double edged sword, really, in my opinion. Let me ask you this, Mr. King: how does reality of wrestling come across your radar? Because you've been there for a hot little minute.
So, reality of wrestling. I got called up by WWE and I did some stuff with them. And they told me to go to Booker T's Reality of Wrestling
Mm-hmm.
um, and work with him until they were ready to bring me in and work with me. Now, the talent agent that was over that, he's gone now. So that's, once the person you're working with is gone, then somebody else takes over and you're brand new to them. So you have to start the process over. But that's how I wind up going to reality of wrestling. And reality of wrestling, I would say, and not being biased, that I've been to, and I've been everywhere. I've been all over. Is the best wrestling school I have to say that I've ever seen. The tutelage is now. There's a lot of great teachers, a lot of great teachers, and I definitely have to say that Booker T and his staff is definitely in the top three. I'm biased, so I'm gonna say they're number one. I'm gonna say they're number one um, because you learn the number one. The facility itself is it's beautiful. You have a full gym. You have multiple rings. You have crash pads, you have everything. Plus, you get to throw live shows at the same place. So the arena and the school is all in one. So it's it's TV and it's real. It's straight up TV. It's not just we're filming, we're calling it TV, but it's just only YouTube. And I'm not knocking those people. Trust me, I'm not knocking them.
No,
But
no.
it's actual TV, and you're part of the WWE ID program. So you're getting a lot of eyes and you're getting the best instruction you can get because Booker teaches you not just in ring. He don't teach you just psychology, how to wrestle physically, the physical part. He teaches you the behind the scenes, how you have to make it in the locker room, how you're supposed to carry yourself when you're out and abroad. Because a lot of wrestlers don't realize that it don't begin and end in the locker room. I mean, in the ring. It's before you make it to the ring. It's once you're in the locker room. It's when you're in front of the camera, when you're in the ring, when you're out of the ring, when you're leaving, when you're interacting with fans. All of that is essential. And it's the small things. It's the small things
Mm-hmm.
that make the huge difference, whether it's training, whether it's wrestling, whether it's cutting promos, vignettes, whether it's you're talking to a fan. If you're a face, if you're a good guy and you're walking out, and you had a bad day, just your day sucked, and you see a fan and a fan try to speak to you and you blow them off, not because you're a prick, but just because you had a bad day, you missed the small thing. Because that fan, that may be the only thing that they remember of you from life. You
That
can
is.
make somebody's day, make
Mm-hmm.
somebody's year, or you can completely destroy them. And it's up to you to pay attention. When the lights are on, the lights are on. And when you are an entertainer, the lights are always
1000% right there. So you said a couple of things. You mentioned multiple rings, and of course, my ADHD kicked in, and I said, multiple rings? He's rocking a couple of multiple rings on those fingers right now. And yes, sir. And then it takes me to a story back from my time. Like I was a heel, right? Like I enjoyed being the bad guy. I can make people hate me. I can talk. Like that was my thing. Was I ever the best fucking guy? No. Was I the most athletically gifted? No. But I can make people pay the money to see me get my butt kicked. And when you talk
that's
about
the
how
thing.
you have the opportunities to make moments for people, we were running a town, and I feel like this was like outside of Birmingham, Alabama, and we stopped at a gas station. I was riding along with, and again, it was local Indies in Alabama at that point. Um, Kid came up to me in the gas station and he recognized me because small town, right? Small little field. Can you ask me for an autograph? And his mom was right there, and I'm a bad guy. And we were doing a show that night. And I was like, "You coming to the show tonight, kid?" He was like, "Yeah." And I looked at his mom and I looked at him and I was like, "I ain't signing nothing for you. You can come see me tonight and I'm going to, but I'm kicking your daddy's best friend, blah, 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 blah." They were at the show. We worked a spot into the match where the babyface got me in front of them and started waylaying on me in front of them and kept. That's what you get for being rude at a gas station. It just, and it was so great. It was like that kid's face lit up, and that was an opportunity that we were able to make there. So that's when you say like you truly have that moment to connect and to give someone something that they can remember. That kid probably doesn't remember nothing. Now it's 20 fucking years ago. But at that point in time, you could just see it in his face. Have you had any moments like that where you've been able to connect and that you connected, like you just made a difference at that point? Has that ever happened to you? And if so, what's that look like?
Yes. So the Savage King, I wouldn't call a face or a heel. And I hate to say that. Hate to say that. But the Savage King just does what it takes to win at the end of the day.
Mm.
And it makes it a little hard when it comes to situations like that. Um, when I can be good, I'm good. When I have to be bad, I'm bad.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I get it.
it's situational.
Mm-hmm.
But one time I was working a match for this company called Texas All Star Wrestling. It was at a a beer brewery,
Mm-hmm.
and it was packed. And I was working one of their luchadors, and much love to all the luchadors. Um, and is Galactica, and he's one of their favorites. I'm working him, and I'm like he's a smaller guy, so I'm like tossing him around and everything. And I threw him out of the ring, and I got out the ring, and I'm working, and this little kid had to be about 5 or 6. He comes up to me and he goes to give me a high five. Now, I had a I had a choice. Of course, I'm working aggressive, so I'm working more heelish.
Mm-hmm.
I had a choice. I could give him a high five and make a lot of money at merch because kids love my gimmick. They love the way
Mm-hmm.
I look. They say I look like an action figure or whatever, which I'm actually doing a comic book, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh.
So instead of giving the kid a high five, because everybody stopped, I mean, it's packed. It's about 500 people there. I just flinch it. The kids get scared. He jumps back, and he just start bawling.
Mm-hmm.
Just start bawling. And his dad jumped up, and three guys that two guys I could tell was together, and another guy he was just there. They jumped up and legit wanted to fight me.
Probably not gonna end
Security
well.
had to run in, and security had to run in because this was in a little small town, and so they're holding them back. And of course, I'm like, come across the barricade if you want it. You can get it. And the match goes on. I'm getting booed out of the arena. We go back. Now it's intermission time. So I come out for intermission. Didn't sell one.
They said,
One of
"Nah,
the only
bro, we're
times
good."
I didn't sell any merch. Um, I'm walking back and I see the father sends his son back up to me. So when he comes back up to me, I look. Now I don't want to get any heat. When I say I got heat, I got some heat.
Mhm.
I say now I don't want to get any heat on the company itself.
Sure.
And when he comes back up to me, he goes to give me a high five. I look at him and I give him a dap. So he dapped and he's happy and everything. He goes back. The other two guys, well, the other three guys, they jump up and then two of the guys they come up and there's like, okay, man, you made everything cool with the kid. You know, that's all we wanted. Can we shake your hand? Can we shake your hand? And I'm standing there and I'm looking at him like, you know, I'm waiting for the crowd to come.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, a lot of wrestlers, new wrestlers, that's something you gotta learn. You gotta wait for the crowd to come in. Like when you got a wrestler in a hold and you holding him, wait, because the crowd is gonna come. If you've done your work, the crowd is gonna come.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting, and they started chanting, "Shake his hand, shake his hand." Whole crowd. So reluctantly, I shake his hand, but I do it a little aggressively, and I'm walking off. And now the third guy, he's over there and he's standing for me to shake his hand. So as I'm walking out, I go to shake his hand and I slap his head off his head. And I got the boomerang back again.
Yep.
I was wondering how I was going to get it back, but I had to get it back.
No, man. That's a moment. That is
And
created
it
a
was a
moment.
moment for five people.
Yep.
It was a moment.
Yep. Nope. I get it, man. I think stories like that are fantastic. And I going back to reality wrestling real quick, because I've had the opportunity over the last couple of weeks to talk to several pieces of talent on the independent scene in Texas. And Texas is a hotbed. And there's really a couple of questions that I got for you here. Like,
Okay.
with it being, and I consider Texas top 3 markets right now in the United States. And again, we cover everything all over the world from every continent. Like I don't miss a whole lot. I'll just put it that way.
Yes.
I put Texas, California, Florida, Georgia, all kind of in the same mix because there's a lot happening. And again, there's a lot happening across the United States. Don't get me wrong, but specifically those states specifically, there's so
Oh, it's
much
on fire.
talent. How do you figure out a way to let me see if I can word this question. Separate yourself. That's where I was going. How do you separate yourself from all these different talents that are out there? Because everybody's looking to make a name for themselves. And then for the second piece of that question is, and I'm genuinely curious because there are a lot of young, talented guys out there. how would they get opportunities to get on a bigger stage in Texas, like for younger cats maybe to want to get into reality or New Texas Pro or some of the other prominent focal point feds out there? Any kind of advice that you could give them on that?
Well, most definitely, you're right. It's a hotbed right now. It's on fire. It's the resurgency, the golden age of wrestling once again. Um, I would say to get on the radar. Well, let me address the first one. How do I stand out?
Mm-hmm.
I leave no room for air. When I get in the ring, okay, a lot of people like to talk about the matches. Hey, let's do this, do that, blah blah blah. I don't like it. I mean, I listen to the promoter. Whatever the promoter wants, long as it doesn't, um, what word am I looking for? Long as it doesn't compromise, long as it doesn't compromise my integrity,
Sure.
I'm willing to do whatever the promoter wants. And also with whatever my opponent is. I'm willing to compromise and work. But when I get in the ring, I leave no room for error. I'm going to hit you. The crowd is going to hear me hit you. The crowd, if I give you a hip toss, I'm giving you a hip toss. I'm not going to sit there and wait for you. Come on, grab my arm and I'm going to flip you over. No. Once I sling you into the ropes or you're coming off the ropes, I'm going to crouch you. I'm going to hook you and I'm going to flip you. You're going to land safe, but it's going to knock the wind out of you.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to hurt. When you get hit with the hand of God, you're going to know why they call it the hand of God, why you get hit with the hog. Everywhere I lay my shots, it's going to be safe, but you're going to feel me. And the crowd loves that. The crowd don't want to see somebody like that. No, they don't want to hear that. The people in the cheap seats want to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to lay it in the chest or wherever it is. I'm laying it in, and it's going to be safe. You're going to be able to work tomorrow, unless we got some kind of heat. Let me stop.
And then
But
we're gonna break some bones in, baby. Let's go. No, I'm kidding, guys. Totally kidding.
but just kidding. But being savage, I take it. I take it. Shoot. When I'm in the ring, I'm savage. And you talk to anybody that has worked with me, they will tell you, hey, he's a good worker. You're gonna be safe. You're gonna be good, but you're gonna get beat up. You're gonna tell them. And the story is you survive in the match.
Facts.
You're gonna go to work tomorrow after ice bath, but it's great.
It's like
The go ahead.
it's like the Taz moniker. Survive if I let you.
Exactly. And believe it or not, it comes from my father. It comes from my brothers. It comes from my martial arts, but it also comes from Booker.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that knows Booker, that worked with Booker, they let you know that Booker gonna beat you up when you get in the ring with him. We work snug. You're familiar with the term snug.
Oh, absolutely.
That's it.
That's how I worked.
That's it. I'm snug. I'm not stiff. I'm snug.
Yeah, that's how I worked. If someone didn't lay it in on me, like I'd let them know. Like, you know what I mean? Like I get it, and I think that is a piece of the separation, because you say, again, I go back to I watched several matches, but I really would go back to the 5.5 minute match, because there was really good Germans that were thrown there at the very end of it. And not only that, it's just other aspects of the game. Like you laid a very beautiful fucking gladiator kick to this guy's solar plexus, and he took that so well. Like that dude flew backwards like he was a crash test dummy. Like it was wild. The second piece of that, and I know I laid two questions on you back to back. I didn't mean to do that, but I had to get it out there
No,
when I
no,
was
it's
thinking
great.
about it.
How do they stand out?
Yeah, because
How do they get a?
these guys are hungry and they're young. And reality is this is and as my footing in independent wrestling is growing, like we're just now getting to Texas. So like I don't have people that I can connect these guys with yet. Like, hey,
Well, you do now.
yeah, absolutely, and I do, and so that they can really hone in on what they're doing, and they're young, they're hungry, they just looking for opportunity, and some of these guys that go out and set up rings for companies, and like they're doing the work to really try and get noticed and to get an opportunity. And I'm not the guy that would ever recommend somebody that's not doing the work outside of the ring. That's just looking for, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? No, you got to let me see that you're out there on the hustle and you're out there you're taking it seriously. And absolutely, I'll pick up the phone and phone a friend real quick. Say, hey, who do we need to get this guy in touch with? From your perspective, what can some of these younger cats do that are hungry and they're out there on the grind?
Three things.
Sure.
One, show up. Show up and be willing to put in the work wherever they at. And always be respectful. Key thing. Respect is key. Respect. Dress well. Dress like you're going to a job interview, because this is a job interview. You only get one time to make a first impression. One chance to make a first impression. That's it. So make your. This is one of my new slogans: is make your next move your best move. You only get one chance to level up. So, well, at least one. You know. I would say second is send, and everybody know this. Consistently send out your resume, your information to these companies, because these promotions. And I would say do it as clockwork. I was told by Terry Taylor that when he was trying to get signed, he would send in he would call every Friday. Every Friday. I'm not saying do it every Friday, but at least once a month, maybe send in or do a checkup, because out of sight, out of mind. Especially with these larger promotions, you have to know how many emails they get, how many times they get hit up on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, depending even if they're even checking that. So repetition and staying in their eyesight and on their mind is key, and always sending something new to let them know of your progression, of how you're advancing. And the third, Dr. Tom said it best. In order to get ahead in this business, you have to know somebody that knows somebody. Because without knowing somebody, it's hard to get ahead. Because believe it or not, and people don't want to admit it or not, this is a nepotism ran business. It's a lot of nepotism. And no knock against anybody. If I had it, I would take advantage of it. Most definitely. But for those who don't have it, we got to claw, we got to scratch, we got to be savage. We got to kick the door in if they don't want us in. We got to break it through the window. We got to find a way in. Remember, it's your dream, not theirs. It's your desire. So you have to keep driving until you make it.
That is sound fucking advice too, because I know for sure. Like I said, there's literally in the last 7 days, I think I've had two guys on from Texas, and they're both both had the same question, like or same aspirations. As listen, this is a big market, and you've got to find a way to make yourself visible, and in a world that sometimes it's hard to be visible in. The beautiful thing right now, you said something earlier, and I it was not going to fall on deaf ears. is the state of independent wrestling now is eerily similar to the territory boom back in the 80s. And now, while I would imagine that most people definitely want a contract, or they want to be signed to one of the major companies, not necessarily have to be a thing right now with the state of independent wrestling, not just here in the States, internationally as well. You can get out there. You're proof positive of that. You're traveling now, and have been for years, and
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 want to travel more.
and exactly, and are doing it. And it's a thing now where if you get out there and you make these moves and you put yourself on a radar somewhere, you can ride that momentum anywhere. And it's fantastic to see. And you mentioned about wanting to travel some more. Where are some places that you haven't been to that you would like to maybe put that savage toe in the water? What are some companies out there? It can be domestically, it can be foreign, overseas.
It's, oh my gosh. Yeah, most definitely I want to get to Japan. I went to
Okay.
Japan for work. Um, I went there for work a few times, but I've never wrestled there. So I definitely would love to wrestle for Noah, DDP, uh, DDT, just any of the wrestling companies in Japan. I want to get to Japan. I want to get to Australia. Um, some friends of mine just did some stuff in Paris with Fourth Row.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
So I want to travel everywhere. So my thing is I have the Savage Kingdom, and I
Okay.
want everywhere to be a part of the Savage Kingdom. I always say join the Savage Kingdom or become a victim of it. And I want to make every company possible a part of the Savage Kingdom. I want to conquer as many, like Alexander the Great. I want to take the world into my hands. That's why I do this a lot. Is because it shows that the world is in my hands, and the world can be in your hands. It's there for the taking. We have to get out there and get it. Prestige, uh, the
Fantastic
World
company.
Series, uh, you name it. All of these great companies, of course, Ring of Honor, TNA, of course, all the ones, the big ones, but then the ones that are right
Hmm.
under the big, what, 3, 4, 5, whatever, those companies as well. I mean, it's so many I can't even name. Um, all of the amazing companies that I would love to be a part of. Here in the States, let alone internationally. Of course, I want to do a great international tour. I want to hit up the UK, Mexico. I would love to work at CMLL and AAA. Especially they have that new connection that they have going on AAA.
Hmm.
Um, so just everywhere. Any promoters out there, please hit me up. I love to work with you.
Well, we're gonna manifest then for 2025 and into 2026, because I'm gonna put that clip out there and tag every international promotion that I have ties with, whether it's in Australia, the UK, Portugal, Spain, fucking South Africa. That's a thing. Yeah, I'm
I
telling you,
was
dude.
supposed to go to South Africa,
No shit. Where?
but
When?
the deal it was connected with Booker and the WWE, but for some
Oh,
reason the deal fell through, and I was that close. I was supposed to go for 6 months.
damn, dude. That scene. There's a South Africa wrestling association. I think is what it's called. I'll have to double check it. They're doing some fucking phenomenal work. Phenomenal
Yeah.
work.
Yes.
Out of South Africa. Actually, we're watching one of their shows Monday night on our stream here. Um, and then again, we have ties to the UK. Actually, Goth in chat says, "I'd love to see you in progress against Cara Noir. That'd be fantastic." Africa
Yes.
Wrestling Alliance was the name of the Fed. Thank you for the correction, Goth. Um, so many fun places, and we're gonna put that out there, dude. We're gonna see what we can do. We've had some success in the past. I've not had success getting somebody international. That's now my next. Just so you know, that's kind of like my sidebar bucket list is to try and get international
Okay.
set up for somebody so they can go into a tour somewhere. And then that's just going to be like a yay, something else that we can cross off the list at CCP podcasting. Now we can make this happen too. I think that's great. Going to go to chat real quick. Mr. Rain has a question. Let me find it again. Where'd it go? I feel like he had a question. Did I miss it? Mr. Rain, could you re-ask that question? Because I can't find it on my phone. While I'm waiting on that, we'll shift around. With the state of professional wrestling. I think it had something like that. I got it, Mr. Rain. Don't worry about it. It came back to me. He asked, what about 2025? What would you like to accomplish? What's on your bucket list, or what's something you want to take care of in 2025? Here we are. We're a little past the halfway point. What's some bigger term things that you want to get accomplished throughout the rest of the year?
Hmm. Hmm. It's so many. But main thing, I want to get my first book out, and I want to get set up on a tour. I want to hit some of the major companies here in the States. I mean, of course, if international comes, great, but definitely some of the main uh, companies here in the States. That's my goal right now, and winning the Glory Championship at Reality of Wrestling. Oh, my bad, and also winning the NWA Texas Championship.
Well, those are some fun little goals there. I could definitely see some weight added to the monstrous frame that is the Savage King in the form of gold. Um, let's see. What do we got? What else where else was I going with that? I lost my segue there. I'll get it back.
Okay.
Comic
One
book.
thing I want to talk about,
Yes.
we can talk about it now or later. I want to explain my mask and
Yes,
my gear.
sir. Go right ahead. Let's talk about the mask.
Okay, my mask. It's part of my gear, which is ceremonial. Um, my like I said, I was born in Greece, so my history and my ancestors. It sounds cliche, but this is where the gimmick comes from. My people are from Sparta, Greece.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where part of the gear, that's where the mask mainly comes from. The design of the mask, paying homage to the Spartans, the greatest warriors this world has ever. Well, one set of the greatest warriors this world has ever seen. There's a lot of great warriors, but one set of the greatest warriors this world has ever seen, the Spartans. And that's where the design for the mask comes from. The rest of the gear comes from like gladiators, because doing like the ancestry search and stuff, we found that we had people that were also in our family that were gladiators in the Roman Colosseums, like famous gladiators in the Roman Colosseums. So that's where the idea from for the rest of my gear comes from, and it's paying homage to the gladiators. And what we do today in the squared circle, as they call it, is basically modern day gladiators. So that's where the idea of where my gear comes from. It's not that I think that I'm a Spartan from this crazy time back in the days. No, it's ceremonial. It's paying homage to my ancestors, paying homage to my bloodline. And the mask, like I say, the design comes from that, and it's the honor of luchadors. And it also, you have to think about it. We all wear masks every day
Mm-hmm.
at work, with friends, with family, whatever it may be. We wear some kind of a mask. When I put this mask on, it actually allows me to take off the mask that I wear every day. It allows me to be me. If you look at Superman, Clark Kent is actually the mask that he wears. He's truly Superman.
Mm-hmm.
But Clark Kent is a mask that he wears. And when he takes off the glasses and the suit, he becomes who he truly is. And that's the reason why I wear this mask, so I can actually show you who I truly am.
Well, it's very symbolic of your heritage. And it's yeah, you are paying homage every day to your ancestors, and that should be, commendable and respectable, because it's keeping, not only is it honoring their memory, it's also laying down the foundation for continuing the legacy, if you will, of your ancestors. So I dig it. I appreciate that 1,000%. And something that you said everybody wears a mask, and you brought up comic books earlier, and I have to bring this up because one of my favorite villains is Two-Face. It's because everybody has that mask of being a good guy or being the bad guy. It's all open to interpretation and depends on the situation. And I want to segue real quick into your comic book. You said you mentioned it earlier, and I definitely want to talk about it real quick. What's that process been like for you? Then that's kind of a cool little deal. What spawned that?
So the comic book started. I've always loved. I've always had a great imagination, and I've always loved writing. I actually got my imagination from my mom predominantly and my dad. And one day I was at a match, and I was doing we was doing meet and greet. And the kids came up, and the kids always loved me, no matter what I do. I could be the most heelish guy up there. When I'm in meet and greet, the kids, they come, they love me, and they were like, "Oh, you look like a comic book figure. You look like this. You look like that." I was like, I need to do like maybe just a little comic book just for merchandise sales. Being honest, just to sell more merch. And I started writing it, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna just do a little something, something, just real simple. And it kind of took a life of its own, and it has become. I've literally created a universe from starting off writing this comic book, which is going to lead into. I've created other characters, which I'm actually going to have other comic books that are separate from the Savage King, and it's going to lead into like an Avengers type deal universe at the end of it. Um, but the name of my comic book is The Savage King Legacy of the Ancients, and it's talking about the mask. And I'm looking at it being out in the next few months, hopefully before Christmas.
Dope. So this is gonna be it's gonna be a long term kind of situation here. You're gonna
Yeah.
have several different layouts, several different stories, a lot of different things coming together. That's actually pretty fire. I haven't really talked to anybody that's in the developing phases, mind you, of putting together a comic book. And so, first of all, the fact that you're doing that, and it's going to be on the merch stands, guys, at all of his future bookings once it comes out, is fantastic because people eat that up. It's different. I don't know anyone else that if I was to, and when we go to events, and I go to events, I first thing I go is to the merch table. I'm going to if I bring $100 with me, I'm going to try and spend 20 bucks here, 20 bucks here, 20 bucks here, 20 bucks here, to spread the wealth a little bit, because I appreciate what's going on in the independent scene. If I was at a show and you had a comic book, I'm buying one. I don't, you know,
And it's not just going. I mean, it's a lot of. I've done at least 5 rewrites at minimum. So it's a comic book slash manga, and that I'm hoping to turn into an anime one day. Um, it's very emotional. It's layered. It's wrestling, but it's more than wrestling.
mhm.
Wrestling is on the marquee. but it's more than wrestling. It leads into a superhero type thing, but at the same time, it has real life uh, experiences in it. It has real life that pulls you in, and it makes you. It's something that you can relate to in your life. It's things that you be like, oh wow, that happened to me, or a friend, or that's in my family, and it's very, and everything, I believe everything has to have a happy ending. Now it may not have a happy ending in the beginning or in the middle or through, because we have to take you on that roller coaster ride,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what life is. It's that roller coaster. But at the end, it has to have that good ending. And that goes back to us in the ring telling the story. If you sacrifice, if you push, it all the good always wins in the end. Like I say, it's the greatest story next to the Bible. And it has a happy ending. So you have to have that happy ending. And that's what I push for. Now it may be hell and high and fire to get to that ending. You may have to walk through
Mm-hmm.
hell with gasoline draws on to get to the ending, but you will get there if you continue to push through. Like I can name so many different ones that like TV shows that I've watched or movies. I love Lord of the Rings trilogy. You know, it seemed like every time they were about to just end, they say, "Okay, well, you know what? We know we can't win, but we're gonna fight anyway." And they finally, because they fought, they pushed through, and they were able to get the win. And that's the way it is in here.
I can tell you right now, you already got somebody in the Netherlands that wants to buy a comic book. It's already in chat. It's like, hey, yeah, I want to buy that. I want to buy that comic book specifically, is what he said. So it's out
Awesome.
there, and it's stuff that should happen. I appreciate the fact that there's a lot more creativity and a lot more drive, and the fact that you're layering it in with personal experiences and stuff like that. So this is your, it's like a labor of love. This is
It is.
it's your story, and it should be a fun read. You need to let me know when that comes out specifically, and I need to figure out how we'll get some copies of that, because I want to check that out myself. Again, I like to support everybody who comes
Most
on our
definitely.
shows, and that would be an easy project to help out with for sure, to get some advertising on some free advertisement. That we'll definitely do that, brother. Let me Let me ask you this. We've talked an awful lot about wrestling. And again, with our conversations on this channel, they're very organic. And I do that specifically because I know that when I have people on, I'm just scratching the surface. Because I know that there's a lot more to everything that's going on with the Savage King. I know there's a lot more that's what's going on with you and what you're doing. But I do the organic flow because I always want you guys to come back, because it's not just about a one-time thing for me or the guys that work on my channel. It's about, long-term relationships over short-term games. That's one of our mission statements. Not here for short term. I want to, promote people and be a part of a longer term relationship. And we've talked a lot about wrestling, and this is why I bring up this question. What do you like to do when you get some downtime? Like if you get the opportunity to not have to go out there and Spartan kick somebody's, chest cavity in. And if you're not writing your comic book, something that you like to do to relax, that, you know, to ground yourself a little bit, because the world of professional wrestling is mild to wild real quick, depending on where you're at, what you got going on.
Well, all right, let's get the cliche out the way first. I love to work out. Um,
That's pretty
it's
pretty
it,
evident. If anybody's seen you in the ring, yeah, that's
it's part of my sanctuary. It's part of my sanctuary. Working out, getting there, zoning everything else out. If I don't get to work out, then I'm thrown off. My day is off. I have too much aggression built up, and I get in there and I let it go. Unless I'm going into the ring, even the days I wrestle, I go work out
mhm.
because I have too much aggression that's held in. It's a great place to work off at it, aggression, stress, all that. Great. Um, I love to read. I read the Bible a lot. I read a lot of books. 48 Laws of Power, The Atomic Habit, um, uh, for our work week. Just books to educate you and to grow you. Passion of the Christ. There's so many different books I've read and that I'm continuing to read to expand. Uh, Knowledge is power. I like reading. If you don't have time to read, you can do an audiobook. You can work out and do an audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different ways to get it in. Um, I love watching TV. I love watching TV. Right now, my thing is TV series. I'm really big into TV series. The Boys, uh, a lot of anime like Demon Slayer. Of course, the original Dragon Ball, well, Super now. Jujutsu Kaisen, a lot of anime. Just it's a lot that I love TV series. I love to escape.
I got
I
you.
love to escape.
I
You
got you.
know, that's my thing, to escape reality for a while and just like with wrestling,
Yep.
escape reality, suspend belief for a while, escape reality, and just be zoned in on this. And I love to eat.
Dude, that's my pastime. That's my problem. So I
Love
like
to
to eat
eat.
too much.
I,
I don't know what moderation is anymore. I'm trying to still
I'm a
figure
fat
that
kid at heart.
out. Well,
I'm a fat kid at heart, believe it or
I appreciate that, man. I'm a fat guy in real life. I'm working on it though. Every day. Every day. Uh
not.
what kind of TV series are you into, man? Like what kind of genres are you into?
Um,
I'm a true crime guy myself. I don't know why.
true crime, I love it. Action, of course, horror. Um, like, I'll tell you some of my favorite TV shows. From TV series
Oh,
From.
that's so
Uh,
ooh. Mm, good one. That's a good one. My man.
uh, yes. The Boys.
Yep.
Uh, uh, shoot. I watch so much.
Brother, I tell you, when you say From, I don't get the network that From is on until I know there's a new season of From, and then I watch that season of From, and like literally, I wait because I think they do them weekly now or weekly drops when they come out. I'll wait until the season's out, binge it over the weekend, and I'm like jonesing for the next seven
It,
months.
it's so good.
The
It's
acting
so
in it is
good. It's just the story
fantastic.
and the way they tell it, and the setup, and the so my the Savage King I'm moving. So when I first started the Savage King, and this is going into what we're talking about still. When I first started the Savage King, the way that I've wrestled for the most part is not the way I intended. The way I intended was to be more of, if I have to say, since we're talking about TV shows or we're talking about movies or whatever, would be more like Leonidas from 300, more like Achilles from the movie Troy,
Mhm.
uh, something similar to that form of fighting, which is something similar, but just a little bit more loose, a little bit more fluid. And I'm actually getting more back to that. And I've had to break it down to people and explain to people that you have to listen to the name. The name is the Savage King, meaning that I'm savage when I'm in the ring, but when I'm out of the ring, it's more regal and kingly. So right now, I love chess. I love playing chess, and I've always looked at life like a chessboard. And so I'm leaning more towards the different moves that I make, and like chess and everything like that, to explain and show people that it's more to the Savage King than just beating people up in the ring, you know? And it makes me think of like Trump, of how it's different moves and pawns being moved around in there, and all the sacrifices and that they've done in the movie. I mean, in the TV series, and I love it. Have you saw Hellbound?
I don't know. I think so, but maybe not. I'd have to
So,
pull it
so,
up and look and see. Is it a series or is it a
so
movie?
Hellbound, it's a series.
I've
It's on
not.
Netflix. It's
I've not. I think I've watched
it's
a
a
couple
it,
episodes of it, but I haven't seen all of it. No, but I know what you're talking about though.
Hellbound. Awesome. You got to go back and watch it.
Okay.
Hellbound is awesome. That's another good one that has a lot of unexpected uh, things in it. Evil was another one that I like,
Oh
that I
yes.
watch, another TV series. Evil,
Oh,
yes.
fantastic.
Um, I just watched with my mom Borderlands. I mean, not Borderlands. Yeah, we watched Borderlands and we watched uh, Into the Badlands.
Hmm.
So, I mean, with me, TV series, I'm a fanatic. I was
Yeah.
a fan of almost, I say 14 seasons of Supernatural. Huge fan of Supernatural.
I Supernatural was my
But
jam.
anyway,
Back in the day was my
yeah,
jam, bro. I got it.
yeah,
I got it. I had a couple more questions for you. We're gonna start winding things down. First of all, I appreciate everybody thus far who has been hanging out with us and enjoying this fabulous conversation that we've been having. The first question I'm gonna start winding it down with comes from Goth, who's in chat. What is your favorite horror? And this is coming from him being a horror fan. Goth, are you talking movies? You talking series? What like what that could be? That's very broad. So, what are some of your, if it's a movie or if it's a series that you've been able to tangle into outside of From? Because that, I don't know, man. From is
yeah.
great. I don't know if
It,
anybody's,
it, it,
if there's
it's great.
a really good horror outside of maybe America Horror Story. I was a big fan of the Coven season of that, but I don't know.
Yes.
What are some of yours
Um,
though? He says both movies
so
or series, whatever strikes out at you.
movies right now, I like the Conjuring series.
Yeah, good
I like
stuff.
the Conjuring series. Um, I don't see a lot that scare me, and I'm always looking for something that will scare me. And and I'm not trying to act like the big bad guy or whatever. Like, oh, don't scare me. No, seriously. Uh,
I don't mind telling you,
but
I'm the guy that
I like
jumps
the
it.
Conjuring.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I said I don't mean I'm the guy that jumps at everything. My better half like laughs at me when we're watching movies and there's that moment where you get the one. I'm like I'm that guy that's oh shit, like that guy. I
Uh, The Conjuring, I love the series, the Conjuring series. Of course, some are better than the others. Like I love the
Yeah.
first one. I love the Devil Made Me Do It. The one they did. I think that was the fourth one. Um, the original Exorcist.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the Omen. Uh, I have to go back to a lot of old ones.
Yeah. I want to say this because you were talking about The Conjuring before we got booted off, and it had to this day the original has one of my favorite scenes in it, and that's the shadow scene of the kid dancing in the living room as I think she's
Yeah,
coming out to throw the trash away, and there's this Irish music playing, and it's like I don't know why it was the creepiest thing for me, but it's still to this day that's one of my scenes in modern horror. Is like that's it that got me. But I
yeah,
just wanted to
yeah.
throw that out there before it slipped my mind. But outside of that, what other kind of horror uh, is things you have going on or that you like?
Believe it or not, I like going to to haunted houses. I love going to haunted houses doing like Halloween. I love Halloween. Love Halloween.
I go to the haunted houses, dude, but the clowns, they always get me. I can't do the clowns. I remember we walked into one
You,
in Boston and walked literally paid for your ticket. As soon as you go around the corner, You walked right into this, dude. This was a couple years ago. I walked into this guy. I turned around and walked out. I don't care. Yep, go ahead.
It's so funny, not to cut you off. It's so funny that I, for the longest, I didn't understand why people were so afraid of clowns until I'd done some research and I found out, and it has to do with the Joker and all that. Um, what clowns come from, the makeup and all of that. And now I realize why people are afraid of clowns. I'm not going to go into it. If do your own research and all that, because I don't want to offend anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to hit nobody with the hog.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I found out why clowns are scary. They should be.
Not a fan. Not a fan at all. We wind these things down with I have 2 questions that I want to ask you, and we'll tie a bow on things because you've given me so much of your time this evening, even with a Mother Nature interruption. I always ask the guys that come on and the girls that come on, who should we be watching? And what I mean by that is, if you give me, some names of people in your opinion that you've either been in the ring with or you've worked with, or that, maybe they're a diamond in the rough or a hidden gem, that we may not know about. And I'll ask you, I'll give you the answer as to why I asked that question. Once you, in your opinion, according to the Savage King, who should we be watching?
Okay. First off, the baddest, a guy named Edge Stone. Edge Stone,
Okay.
6'4", something like that. Great shape, great mind for the business. He's actually one of Booker T's proteges right now. The guy is athletic. He can work. He's diamond in the rough for sure. Edge Stone. Will Alday, another great. Can do everything. Fans love him. Um, I can't say enough about him. Ryan Davison,
Ooh.
another guy. Um, he's a cornerstone over there at Reality of Wrestling. Aiden Cristiano, he's another one. Great mind for the business. Of course, he's definitely on the rise, and I would say that is I can't believe my mind. Zilla Fatu.
Mm.
Zilla Fatu, he's another one. Definitely on the rise, on fire right now. Shoot. There's so many guys I can name, but
Right.
definitely those guys right there. Or Frank Stone. He's another one. He's down there at DPCW. Um, another great guy. Shout out to DPCW. Rodney Mack, Jazz, great.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I ask you that question because,
Oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize. I have to shoot out. I have to throw in there Promise Braxton.
Oh, yes. Fantastic.
She is amazing. She just did something with Natty Neidhart and Kaya Dreams. They great.
I am a huge Promise Braxton fan.
Yes,
I'm
he's
waiting.
so good.
I am
So
waiting. It is so she's one of those. It's not a matter if, it's a matter when the time's right. That phone's ringing, and when it does, look out. She is going to
look,
take full advantage. It is going to be a beautiful fucking thing. Excuse my language. Sorry.
yeah,
Well, I ask you that because we obviously we're independent wrestling. That's what we do. We're 20, 25 hours a week on indie wrestling. And what makes our platform special, I feel, is when we get to sit down and have these conversations with you guys, because in the process of learning more about you and learning about what you're doing, you're also able to give us some names of people that we might not be familiar with. Now, in this case, I'm very familiar with a lot of the road talent. We've had in the past, we've had Danny Limelight on the show. I've had Kirby Carey on. I've had Emily Taylor. So many people that have come through the doors that have either worked with Reality of Wrestling or are attached to it now. So I'm very familiar with Will All Day and the Promise Braxtons and Ryan Davison. Like these guys are, yes. There are a couple in there that you gave me that I'm not familiar with. Well, what happens is I take those and I put them on our spreadsheets. And eventually, as we do more than just Beyond the Bells, we do full watch-alongs on Monday nights. We do full spotlight shows on Thursday nights, where we're looking at 2 hours of just one person's body of work and first-time watches, find companies that they're attached to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's just a revolving situation. But you don't just give me those couple of names. You're also giving me opponents that I may not have seen before. You're also giving me new companies that I may not know or may not have seen before. So there's a lot to it. So you give me one, 5, 6 names. You really give me like 30, and probably a good 10 new companies that I may not be familiar with, but can get myself familiar with real quick by just going out and watching. So it's how our door continues to revolve here on our channel. So it's very instrumental. And the last question I've got, and I usually ask people this is, and this is kind of the everybody's gonna ask, right? Because if you're in professional wrestling, you gotta have some matches, or maybe you don't, with some people that you do want to get in the ring with that maybe you haven't had the opportunity to, or you want to run something back with because you had such a good time with it the first time. What's that look like for you?
Oh, oh wow, it's so many. I would love to get back in the ring with Shelton Benjamin, close friend of mine, real close friend of mine. Him and
Dude's
MVP.
fantastic.
Yeah, but I would love to work Shelton Benjamin again. I would love to get back in the ring with Jacob Batu. I only had a chance to work him once, and yeah, that guy's great. I would say, well, right now, I mean, I had my dream matches, but those guys are gone. But, right now, I would have to say, if I could pick three guys. God damn.
It's a tough question because there's so many.
Yeah, it's really a tough question. Like, I would love to work Rey Mysterio just because the knowledge, the just everything. I've met him a few times before. Um, just to be in the ring with him would be amazing. Randy Orton is another one. Just he is just amazing. AJ Styles and Chad Gable.
Criminally
Chad
underrated.
Gable freaking good.
Just not getting his
And
shine, and he should have had that a long time ago.
yeah, they had it a long time ago, but they paint them. They put them in a box,
Yep.
and and they see him in that box, and they don't see him beyond that box. And I hate to see it that he's a get over guy right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's so freaking good, and they use that excuse of, "Oh, this guy's so good, he doesn't need a title." It's a bunch of garbage.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But yeah, yeah, yeah. Just rambling off a couple names that, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they
I mean,
if they resonate with you, man, I could see it, man. I could see a Randy Orton, a Viper, Savage King showdown. That's got some money written on it, for sure.
oh my gosh, yeah, and so many guys too, man. Alistair Black, oh my gosh,
Yeah, he's got a school down here in Florida. He in Selena Vega.
yeah,
Dark Arts.
yeah, yeah.
Know some guys who come through that and have nothing but positive things to say about it.
Like I said, so many guys. Right? I'm a huge Gunther fan. Huge Gunther. I call him Gunther. A huge Gunther fan. Huge.
Ring general for sure.
Ring general. So many.
And you could crush it with all of them too. That's what's crazy. Your talent, your abilities, the way that you your psychology behind your matches, and you can tell it's just all really, really, really thought out. I always, again, before we close it out, I always like to turn the floor over to you. Like, anything out there, anything you got coming up, anything that you want to plug, anything that, you want to, floor is yours.
I appreciate it. First of all, I want to thank you so much, Chris, for having me on here. It has truly been a pleasure and it has been an honor for me to be here. So thank you so much. I want to thank all the fans, everyone out there that's watching. Um, it is such a cliche, but without you, there would be no us. So thank you. Much love. Um, I would love to give a shout out and respect to Booker T, Reality of Wrestling, Kevin Bernhardt, producer, Brad Gilmore, uh, our announcers, Kirby, and just everybody over there at Reality of Wrestling. If you're looking for a place to go, that is definitely, you can't miss. You can't miss there. I love to give a shout out. Like I've said their name a few times: DPCW, NWA,
Mm-hmm.
DPCW, Rodney Mack, and Jazz. Um, I have a match coming up with them on the 27th
Okay.
of this month in San Antonio. I have a triple threat for the number one contender uh, spot for the NWA DPC heavyweight championship. That's one of my goals for 2025 to get to NWA and just take it over.
Well, it's funny you say that. Hold on. I'm going to mute my microphone real quick because it's so sensitive and there's a lot of stuff right here. I got to show you something just because you say the NWA. Hang on.
Gotcha.
I recently moved and still getting situated in my studio or what have you. But when you talk about the NWA, I got to pull this guy out because this is my.
Wow.
Of course, I can't see you because there's something in front of your camera now. Oh, it's your finger.
No, I had to move it up so I could look at your
So,
screen. Wow.
like it's a legit 10 pounds replica championship belt,
Wow.
and I it is one of my favorite belt designs of all time, and
It is on.
it stays right here next to the whole setup. Uh,
It is
Eventually,
awesome.
what I'm gonna do with that guy is I'm getting ready to go out on what I call tours. Getting ready to come in and check out a lot of shows from a lot of different companies, talent, etc., who support us. I'm going to take that with me, and I'm going to flip it over and get you guys to sign the back of it. And it'd be
Freaking awesome.
my collector's item for my private, my little deal. Because I think I see so much talent in all of you
Yes.
guys that come out and sit down with us, and it's criminal just how good you guys are. And it sounds like
Thank you.
that is a goal of yours, is to get to conquering the NWA. And it looks like you're one step closer. You pull this triple threat next weekend, and let's manifest for a second. What you got to say to the champ when you come out with this number one contendership?
When I come up with the number one contendership, the champion is a long time. Would I say friend? He's been a friend. He's been a foe. Izzy James. He's on the rise right now. And Izzy, you know I'm coming. You know that I will win. That I'm going to just say this. It's time for me to level up. So make sure that your next move is your best move, because you will join the Savage Kingdom or become a victim of it.
That's watch out, because that scared the shit out of me. My dog started barking in the background. I had to mute the microphone for a second. I was like, oh, wait, hold on. I am so appreciative of you, sir, and everything that you've given us this evening. Again, Mother Nature decided to punch us and took us down for 10 or 15 minutes, but I'm so grateful that you hung out. and let me get us back on the air so that we could finish our conversation, because certainly not everybody would do that. There would be some people who would just bounce and say bye. But I'm
I
very thankful.
apologize. I would also like to give a shout out to Iron Wrestling Pro
Okay.
that I'm going to be wrestling at next month on the, I think it's the 15th or the 17th. I think it's the 17th. It's a Thursday and it's in Denton, Texas. And when I say they are bringing in like all of the hot guys from freaking all over Texas and other parts of the country, they're bringing in a lot of people for that event. Um, so Iron Wrestling Pro, much love, and also I want to send my condolences, and prayers of love out for my boy Knuckles who just passed. Um, most people know him as Knuckles. God bless, and I'm just hey, it's what we do.
Man, this is it's been great. The door is always open for you to come back at any point in time on our platform. It's an open door policy here when it comes to you guys. Anything we can do for you, we're going to. I have had an absolute blast tonight. I know that our chat has as well. And if you're watching this over on YouTube or you're seeing any of these clips that may come out on social media, it is super simple for you to show your support by sharing, and subscribing. The Savage King keeps it simple. It's been on the screen the entire show. Hit him up at Thaddeus King over on Instagram. Smash that follow button and share the content that he puts out there. And if you can and you're inclined to, merchandise is a thing. T-shirts do exist. ProWrestlingTees.com is the place to be. One-Savage is where you need to go there. You can grab your T-shirts. And when we were talking about your comic books. Is that an avenue of possible release on there as well? Would you put that up on the Pro Wrestling Tee store?
If I'm able to, most definitely. I'm gonna definitely self-publish.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be on Pro Wrestling Tees as well as Amazon and a lot of other places.
Or segue, Linktree. It's where you can also find information for the Savage King. If it's not
Yeah.
available on ProWrestlingTees.com, I'm sure that when this comic book comes out and all things the Savage King, you can find it at linktree.com/the Savage King. We'll have his YouTube page. It'll have everything that you can get to. It's super simple. Hit the follow buttons everywhere. It's free, 99% of the places. If you've enjoyed the show, guys, I've enjoyed having you, Mr. Savage King. It has indeed been a pleasure, sir.
Thank you so much. And I want to give one last shout out to the Real Moment of Truth
Sure.
for the connection. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. Those guys, hit them up on Instagrams at The Real Moment of Truth. They're doing a lot of good things publicity-wise for these talented guys that are all over the independent scene. It has indeed been a blast for the Savage King. I am Chris Page, and we will see you next time.